Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the podcast. And today we got a power couple in the house. We have Joe and Ginger Dupont. They run a company called Window Genie here in Harford County and Baltimore County and maybe some other places too. We're going to pick you guys' brains about business, life, and everything in between. I'm so excited about this one. I know Ginger is too. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah. Met through networking, meeting a lot of my guests through networking, and had a lot of really good conversations. I enjoy, there's always ups and downs of businesses, there's ups and downs in life, and to sit down and have those conversations with people was extra special. So, but we're also going to talk a little bit about your business too. So as we go into this, before we get to Window Genie, give everybody just a little bit of an idea about who you guys are. And we'll start with Joe.
Good.
Okay.
Okay. He's got the voice too.
Yes, he does. Yes.
So who am I? Well, it all starts a 28-year career in the military, in the Army, and I did a variety of things in the Army. And shortly after retirement, which was in 2017, I retired out of APG. I became a contractor back to the Army. And then mid-pandemic, I was like, as the extrovert of the two of us, I was going stir crazy working from home. I would actually drive into the office, which my office was in Bell Camp at the time, just to get out of the house.
Yeah.
But it was worse because there was nobody in the office.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And I was going stir crazy. I got hit up by a franchise consultant. Shout out to Richard Bond. And he's like, hey, have you ever thought about opening up your own business? Like, yeah, doesn't everybody think about that every now and then? And a lot of my colleagues at the time would actually start their own consulting business back to the government. And I knew I had no desire to do that.
No desire.
And so as a franchise consultant, his job was to give us a list of franchises that seemed to meet our goals and interests, and we filled out a questionnaire. As I'm kind of diving into all of this, I turned to my lovely wife and I said, hey, this is something we could do together.
Yeah.
And then you know what happened next?
Uh-oh.
I literally went,
Rolled your eyes like, what
eyes,
kind of
that's
stupid,
right.
crazy idea does this guy have?
So I had owned a residential painting business previously, and I owned a trucking company. And we have a small horse farm in Forest Hill. But I was like, you know what? If that's what you want to do, great, go for it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, but your wife kind of does have that like entrepreneurial background.
Which is knowing that she had her own businesses in the past. That's why I'm like, hey,
what a great person to help guide you through this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All
right, Ginger, give us a little bit of background here, because you've been described by many as a Renaissance woman.
Yes.
How would they even think about you being a Renaissance woman?
I'm too old to be using those, or too young, not too old. I'm too young.
Yeah, you're too young
to be using those words. So I'm from Fallston.
Okay.
My parents still live in Fallston. They live in the house that I grew up in. I went to Fallston High School, so I did leave, but I came back just like most people in Harford County.
Yep. Class of?
88.
88, okay. I was 93, but not at Fallston or in Harford County, but yeah.
My younger sister was 93.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. So anyway, I started, I'm a professional painter. And I was like, you know what? Let's do something where I can make some money. So I started a painting business. I had started a trucking company, and I do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did in-home healthcare, hospice. I worked 911 out of Bel Air.
Okay.
And Fallston. Just a little bit of everything.
I tell you, I mad respect for people that work in hospice. I mean, to have to work with those people. It's an emotional job.
I think from the time I'm the epitome of a Gen Xer. Mm-hmm. So my ability to compartmentalize feelings and emotions and all of that is crazy, which is what you need to have when you're running 911. And then to deal with, a lot of people think death is obviously a bad thing, and it's a different way to look at it. I help the families because death isn't bad for the person that's dying. Death is only bad for the people who are left here. So to be able to give somebody just a different perspective, I'm really good at that.
Yeah. Yeah. And just, being able to respond to emergencies. You said 911 operator, you said EMT, a trucking company. I mean, that's a lot.
It's
and
fun.
And so what what a great mentor you have in your own wife that has had all these experiences, and you didn't necessarily have a business background.
So it's interesting that you asked that question, because a lot of what I did, 18 years in the Army, was in program management.
Okay.
And, a lot of people would ask me, well, what did you do in the Army? The easiest thing I could say to them to give some sense of understanding is I ran a business for the Army.
Okay.
So it was part of the Army Acquisition Corps. The Army would give me a requirement for X. The Army needs X. Okay, Joe, we're going to give you some money. We're going to allow you to award contracts, and we're going to allow you to manage those contracts, manage the work that the contractor is doing in order to be able to provide the Army X. So all of that experience I took right back into owning a business. I mean, simple things like, I say simple things, but managing a budget, for instance. The Army gave me a budget. You got to manage this budget. The Army needs X. You got to figure out how to give them X with this amount of money.
Right.
So, there was a lot of that just went right back in.
Yeah.
And seeing other colleagues at the time start up their own small businesses again, it was like in the consulting work back to the government. So it was, I can almost say, a seamless transition. But owning your own business, that's when I turned to this, because to her, to her,
Right here.
that
Do not edit that out.
that certainly didn't come out right. But you mentioned, I'm going to change the subject real quick, because you mentioned mentor. I mean, that's how I got into this part. I want to take you back for a moment on her hospice care and her experience there. Again, mentor, because I'm originally from New Hampshire. My mom, before she passed, she was in hospice. And I had to go up to New Hampshire, and I spent a week up there. She was in hospice for 5 days. And let me tell you, the amount of appreciation I gained for this woman, as my mom was in a hospice home.
Yeah.
And as she already pointed out, the care is for the family members.
Yep.
I mean, they're just making your loved one comfortable. But all of the care is for the family members. And I was floored. I mean, I had no idea what she did.
Just saw her in a completely different
It's
light.
like, and I'd be able to call her on the phone. It's like, okay, my mom's gasping for breath. What's going on? I mean, although the staff was there to answer the questions, I mean, I turned to her. I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah.
She goes, no, it's natural. And I'm like, she even turned that switch on where if I didn't have the staff at the home, I was able to call her, and she turned the switch on, and she's doing what the staff would do. And I'm like, how do you do this? I gained so much appreciation. I gained so much appreciation for that home. To this day, I still donate to that home up in New Hampshire, because just the work they do is profound.
Yeah. Wow. So you're introduced to a bunch of different options for a franchise, and you go with Window Genie. What set Window Genie apart from all the other franchises that made you make that decision?
Well, even before we got to the list, when we started talking about it, because she had owned small businesses, she said, absolutely not. We are not going to do painting. Okay. We're not going to do anything in the trucking.
Okay.
We're not doing anything in the healthcare. This is all of her own experiences.
She's already had it. She knows that.
I don't want to do any of those things. So, that made the list a little bit easier to work with. But once they give you the list, the franchise consultant says, now it's on you. You got to go do your homework. You got to do your research. You got to make a decision. And that decision may be, none of this is good for you. One of the other recommendations was a tree service business.
Okay.
Well, I mean, there's a number of them. I mean, so we were also looking at competition. Mm-hmm. It's like, wow, there's a lot of tree service businesses out there. And that was almost an immediate cut because we knew there were a lot of them out there. We also knew that the expense for the equipment was going to be considerable.
Yeah.
And we also knew that the expense for things like workers' comp was going to be quite high.
Yeah.
Insurance. and
Right,
stuff.
sure.
It's like, okay, yeah, no, that's nothing we want to get into. There was another one called Tint World that we actually explored very, very heavily. Tint World does automobile tinting, and a shout out for them because we actually did visit with the location down in the what was it? Where was it? Baltimore?
North Avenue.
North Avenue in
North Avenue,
Baltimore.
yep.
So shout out to them because they did spend a couple of hours with us.
Yeah.
And you know, his first question as we walked in and we introduced ourselves, he says, "What's your experience in the auto industry?" It's like, 0. He goes, "I'm not going to recommend you do this." His experience, he'd been a mechanic, his dad owned dealerships, and I mean, the list went on and on and on and on and on. And he said, "This is really not for someone just trying to get into the auto industry." It's like, okay, well, hey, 2 hours with him. And so it was all right. So ultimately, Window Genie. Okay. So window cleaner. Okay. Well, you do some research. There's not a whole lot of competition out there. And okay, so this is something we could build, we could grow. And it's like, well, how difficult can window cleaning be? And in addition to the window cleaning, we saw that they were doing pressure washing, a lot of competition in the pressure washing side of this. They do gutter cleaning, fair amount of competition in gutter cleaning, and the window tint. But this was not automobile. This was flat glass. So it's residential and commercial windows that we would actually tint. It's like, that seems pretty interesting. Something we could certainly, because of her background with painting and her attention to detail, we knew we would need to have that kind of experience to be able to do window film properly. And for her, it was all about the holiday lights. She loves Christmas.
I saw that, yeah. And of course, I've heard you announce that in different networks.
Yeah. So we do the seasonal lighting, which, you know, we do a custom design for our customers. Again, I turn to her. I mean, she's got the creative mind. I'm just more pretty methodic. It's like, okay, I got a design, now I can make it happen. So we do the custom design, we're providing all of the product, we're doing the installation, we're maintaining it when it's up, we take it down, we box it up, and then we come back to you next year.
Okay.
And this year we're actually introducing permanent lighting.
Oh, okay.
Which is a substitute, I will call it, for seasonal holiday lighting, but it's more architectural lighting.
Okay.
Where a lot of people are using landscape lighting and they'll, you know, put a wash of light up on the side of their house. This gets installed at the eave, and it's a downward wash. But if you want more of that classic holiday look, then you're actually taking that lighting and you're putting on the fascia so that it's pointed outward.
Yeah.
So for a lot of people, they're now looking for that. So it's something we had to introduce.
Yeah.
And so, you know, back to your original question, why Window Genie? We simply knew we could get ourselves trained, and more importantly, this was stuff that we could train our employees.
Right. How many employees do you guys have?
So we're currently at 4.
Okay.
We need 6.
Okay.
But
So you're hiring.
We are hiring.
Yep.
We are starting to get back into our busy season again come spring. And so we've got 3 trucks, and we got to get each truck filled.
Right. Wow. When you look at Joe as your husband, but also as a business owner, what do you feel is like the strengths that he brings to the business? Because it almost seems like you both have you guys have a good chemistry and a good blend for each other. Like, you are really good at some things and he's really good at some things. You're probably good at most things. He's good at some things. But what is it about Joe that he really excels in?
He doesn't back down from anything. He's learned to back down from me every now and then, but even that...
Smart man. Smart man. You guys been married for how long?
He stays on top of things. the best part is the stuff that I like being in control of and on top of are different than what he does. So there's some things that, like, he sits in his office, like he works too much. Whereas because I still do other things, I do Window Genie during the day. Come 5 o'clock, I'm done.
You're done.
I am done.
Yeah.
Yes, but I do hair. I've done hair for 36 years.
Oh, add that one.
Did you? Yeah.
So
Drew needs to put like a list on the screen of every occupation that she's in.
I know.
A Renaissance woman. We called it in the beginning.
yeah. So he'll, I know also if there's something that I don't get to, I know he's going to get to it. So
Okay.
Yeah.
The same question for Ginger. What is the biggest strengths that she brings to the business?
Don't say it.
I'm not even sure what she's thinking.
I know, right?
So what am I not supposed to say?
I know.
What do you say that I have?
Oh,
Say it.
You can say it. It's
You
okay.
can say it.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Gingy Juju.
Gingy Juju. Define that for me, would you?
She's, again, even though she's an introvert, there's something about her that just draws people in. And I call that the juju. It's the
juju.
The magic.
I can see it.
Maybe we should just call it the genie magic.
Okay.
Since I use that a lot. But she drew me in. It's like, I got here in 2012. I was stationed in the Army. I moved here to APG in 2012.
Okay.
And so now we're going to have to get into this part of the story.
I was going to say, I mean, that's not too long ago.
I was newly divorced. A year into my divorce. Again, I was in Germany, moved here, and all my buddies were like, I'm like, geez, I got to start dating. And they're like, online, just go online. I'm like, what? No, that just seems so kind of skeevy. And no, this is where it's going these days. Okay. So I signed up for Match.com. And trust me, I was not looking for a relationship. If Tinder was out there...
Usually if you go on Match.com...
Well, here's the problem.
What are you looking for?
Tinder wasn't available back then.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Because if Tinder was available, I would have been swiping.
Yes.
Because all I wanted to do
You swiped right on this one.
is meet women and just have fun. I'm, again, newly divorced. I mean, so that's a kick in the teeth when that happens. I needed an ego boost.
Okay.
Well, I certainly got the ego boost on Match.com. Let me tell you, put my profile up there, put some pictures up there.
Tall, handsome gentleman like yourself.
Well, of course, I was still in the Army too, so I was officer and a gentleman type of thing. Immediately, it was like me being a candy store. It's like, holy crap! It's like, no, not interested. No, not interested. And so I came upon her profile. Now, I'm gonna tell you,
This is getting good, man.
I signed up for Match.com. And all I wanted to do was meet women, and. Long story short, she was my one and only date.
And do you
She
know
was
what he
my
complains
first-
about? He complains that he paid for a year.
A year subscribe.
Yep. Yeah.
It only took one. You only took one.
No, and you want to know what's funny, the difference between the two of us. You have to write, something for your profile.
Okay.
I don't want to write anything. Like the way that I deal with people.
I saw that because when he responded to the email,
Oh
it
my
was
gosh.
like this, and
His was
then you had
he
a
just
one line. Don't get creepy.
That was her profile.
His was
Don't be a
this
creeper.
long. Mine was the least amount that it could be because, number one, if I don't like the way you look, do you think I want to date you? No, I am that shallow person. I have to have that initial attraction before there can be anything else. Drew, you are cracking me up. He's so entertained right now. Old people talking about online dating, right?
Right.
Yeah, and Joe's literally, it was 2 pages long, and I was like, okay, we can cut that out. But anyway, he's cute, so okay.
Yeah, he's a good-looking guy. Yeah. So, and this was 2012 that you moved here. Was that like same year as when you guys met?
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
first date was August 24th, 2012.
August 24th, 2012. And then how long before you guys got married?
5 years.
5 years.
5 years. Okay. All right.
Yeah, after 6 months. So first of all, that date lasted 3 days.
Okay.
After about 6 months of dating, we're sitting on the sofa one day, and I'm like, so what do you think about remarriage or getting married again?
No way.
Were you married previously too?
Yes.
Okay.
I was.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was like, no, I'm never getting married again.
And
Absolutely not.
It's same mentality. I'm like, I am never going through that again.
There's a ring on that finger. Okay. So
Well, so after 5 years, and so I was now retiring from the Army. She made a promise to me, and she said, as soon as my kids graduate high school, they're adults and they're on their own, we can go where we want to go. So she had her own place, and the kids were there, and I kid you not, when did Pierce graduate? 2016?
Sure.
It was probably 2016. Yeah. So about a week after Pierce, her youngest, graduated, she's like, okay, I'm moving in. Wow, you were serious about this.
Yeah.
And so for me, that was the sign. I mean, we already knew we had committed to each other. Well, this was the final commitment for me anyway, is she moved in.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow. And then I also realized, I said, the way the laws are, if I want to take care of you. I want to be able to take care of you. I can't even put you on my health insurance if we don't have a piece of paper that says we're husband and wife.
Yeah.
And, so we talked about it. It was 5 years. And I said, this just makes sense. I mean, you're not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. But for me to be able to take care of you and be able to get you on my health insurance and all of that stuff. And, even simple things like life insurance.
Yeah.
I could have put her on as a beneficiary, but spouse means a whole lot more.
Right.
So, we made the decision, obviously, to get married. And thank God we did, because it was shortly thereafter.
3 months after we got married, I got diagnosed with cancer.
Wow.
I know. And then it was a year after we started the business, I got diagnosed with a brain tumor.
Yeah. So then your life takes a complete.
Oh, it didn't change.
It
Didn't change. No, you have a choice every day when you wake up, and that is to be miserable or to live life.
Even when you're just hammered with this just dreadful thing that you have to now deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? It doesn't matter who you are or what you're going through. There's somebody out there who always has a story that's worse than yours. So, again, could I have stayed in bed and, pulled the covers over my head and said, I'm done? Sure.
Yeah.
I could have, and I had a pretty darn good reason to do that.
You're darn right.
But why? That's boring. Let's do something fun.
Yeah.
And
do you are you able to carry that mentality every single day?
every single day.
Every single day.
Yeah.
There's never a bad day.
Never a bad day. You might have a bad minute in the day.
But you don't let it make it into a bad day.
No. My surgeon, shout out to Dr. Labib, University, Maryland, downtown. Every time I see him, he actually looks depressed. And when I go, this is kind of like how I look. I'm mostly always happy and smiling. And the last time I saw him, he came in and his head was down. And I said, what's wrong? And he looked and he said, how do you do this? I said, how do I do what? He said, every time I see you, you're smiling, you're happy, and you look better than I do, which is a joke because I have a huge scar in my head.
Oh, wow.
And I told him my hair was all the same length before I had the first surgery. And he was very upset that he was going to have to shave part of my head. And I looked at him like, dude, it's hair. And it'll grow back, and I'm going to rock the comb over. So when I saw him for my 6th weekend, and he is challenged kind of like this.
Okay.
Wow.
If you're listening to this on Apple, Spotify, or Audible, you need to go over to YouTube to see just a big, beautiful head of no hair.
No hair there. Yeah.
That's why we wear hats.
Yeah. So for my 6-week post-op, he walked in, he looked at me and he said, "Oh my God, you look better than I do." And I laughed and I said, "I told you I was going to rock the comb over."
There you go.
Yeah. So, and again, I do hair, so I'm able to hide my scars pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's if a bad moment comes up, something happens, you're starting to get into maybe a depressed state, or starting to, because it doesn't seem like you stay there that long. What's the fastest way to get out of it?
I typically don't even get into those moments.
Really?
You know what? And life is movement. Movement is life, which is one of those things that I had when I had cancer. Mm-hmm. When I came home after my cancer surgery, my kids were there, Joe was there, and, my daughter's trying to fluff pillows so that, I could sit down. I couldn't turn my head. It was thyroid cancer. And I was joking, and I said, "Wow, I kind of feel like nearly headless Nick from Harry Potter," because they had cut my throat.
Oh my gosh.
And it's not, yes, it was a joke, but that's what I felt like. I'm like, wow, that would be kind of weird, have my head just kind of like fall off. So anyway, but you have to laugh. And I wasn't sitting there thinking, oh my goodness, I have to laugh. It's just, maybe I'm a little bit not right. I told you I was born in 1970. 1970 says not quite right next to it, okay?
Right after Woodstock.
Yeah. So I went to sit down, and I didn't even get all the way down, and my body was like, "No, let's move." And I was like, "Okay." And I'm like, nope, I gotta walk. And Joe stands back, and again, my kids were there, and Logan says to me, "Mom, you need to sit down, like you need to rest." And I'm like, "Don't tell me what I need to do. I need to go for a walk." So Pierce tends to be a little bit more like my personality.
Okay.
And he also knows that I'm the mom, and what I say goes. So I looked at him and I said, "Hey,"
I got a good read on that. Yeah.
I said, "Hey, Pierce, you want to go take a walk and get the mail with me?" And he was like, "Absolutely." And he stood up and he put his arm out like this. I put my arm in his arm and we walked down to the mailbox. And when we came back, then my body was like, "Okay, you're good. We can sit now." But you have to keep moving. It doesn't matter whether you're sitting still and moving, even in your head. Like I've got, never diagnosed again because I was a Gen Xer, but ADD like a crazy person.
Sure.
So even if you start going down this road, I got 4 other roads that are coming out this way. You know how they say you got 12 different conversations going on in your head?
Right.
Joe has a hard time keeping up with the conversation. Hey, what are we talking about now?
Yeah.
What?
How do we get from here to there? Yeah.
And in my head, we have a total road that goes from this one to that one, this one to that one. So yeah, you can't ever stop and think. You just got to keep moving. And if you keep moving, you can do anything.
So well spoken.
I got to add something because I think that I haven't heard this story quite like she just presented it. And the funny part about this story is she talked about the ADHD and there's 4 other roads and, you got to keep up with her. What's funny about that story is she always complains to me. She calls me the squirrel, chasing the shiny object. Because I can't stay focused on one thing.
And she has to reel you back in.
Yeah.
But yet she's the one that has all these different...
She's the one that describes herself that way. That's so interesting.
That's so interesting.
Oh, absolutely. but my squirreliness...
I think I need to maybe change this into a marriage counseling podcast.
You're funny. No. It's my squirreliness doesn't affect anybody else's. So
Okay.
His shiny object sometimes affects.
Well, you've just recently committed to Ginger, in marriage, and then for her to have to face what she's facing certainly has had an effect on you. How did you deal with those troubling times, and what's the biggest lesson that you took out of the experience that you both had?
So the troubling time. Which troubling times are you referring to?
The cancer, the brain tumor, seeing the discomfort that she's been through. I mean, there's a lot going on there in that time.
Yeah. Obviously not easy. Knowing how independent she is, I had to find the right mix of care, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, what do I do for you?
Yeah.
And not overstep my bounds, because I mean, as she just described, she wants to go out for a walk. I could have easily, like the daughter, put my foot down and said, sit your butt down, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, that's not going to end well.
And I know that's not going to go over very well.
Right.
So it was just really, really difficult. I mean, because you had to be a caregiver.
Yeah.
She obviously she needed.
I mean, she does
support.
need.
She needed something.
Yeah.
A Diet
you-
Coke. I needed a Diet Coke more than I needed anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to stop drinking Diet Coke. I was drinking like 6 McDonald's large.
And it had to be McDonald's.
Right? Because they have figured out the science of
Yes.
the
Perfect.
CO2 and the syrup.
Yes.
Yeah. There's no other Diet Coke like a McDonald's Diet Coke. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
If I'm out, she's like, "Can you stop by McDonald's?"
Yeah. Now it's unsweetened iced tea for my wife,
Yes,
but it used to be Diet Coke too. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna jump back to Dr. Labib, my 6-week post-op. I said to him when I was there, okay, so what can I do and what can't I do? And he was very good with me. He said, I deal a little differently with you than I do with anybody else. Mm-hmm. He said, if you think you can do it, do it. If you don't think you can do it, don't do it. And I was like, oh, you and I are going to get along. So I was not allowed to go into my barn for 6 weeks because of fear of infection with the incision.
Sure.
Can I go hug my horses? He said, yes. Can you hug them with the other side of your head? I said, yes.
Okay.
I said, can I lift hay bales? If you have to lift hay bales, Ginger, yes, you can lift hay bales. I said, okay, what about driving? And he's like, no. We don't even talk about driving until about 6 months afterwards. And I said, let me tell you how this is going to work. And he said, okay, how's it going to work? He said, I'm going to go home and I'm going to get 2 hay bales and I'm going to put them in the bucket of my big tractor. And I'm going to drive my tractor around my farm, put it in the hay huts. I'm going to hug my horses and I'm going to drive my tractor all over my farm. And as long as I don't drive my tractor through my fence, I'm then going to get in my big, red, lifted F350 with 35-inch tires, and I'm going to drive my behind to McDonald's and get a Diet
Coke.
And he said, deal, as long as you don't drive through your fence boards. You can go to McDonald's and get a Diet Coke. And I did exactly what I said. Mm-hmm. Didn't go through any of my fences, got in my truck, and went and got a Diet Coke. We are junkies. Tim, we are junkies.
I understand.
I'm
a recovering junkie.
He's recovering.
I'm recovering.
I'm not quite
The
there. I'm not
addiction
as
was
bad as I
real.
was,
The
yes.
addiction was
Yeah.
real.
That's funny.
I mean, because they put, what is it, aspartame in Diet Coke that
Yes.
makes the addiction. It's an addiction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but then, as my wife says, there are other worse addictions. So
That is true.
Let me have mine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do hard things.
We are all capable of doing hard things.
We're all capable of doing hard things. Is this something that you've always had as growing up and to who you are today? Or was it that defining moment of cancer that switched that mindset?
We all go through hard things. A big thing with the age that I am now, if you look at my sisters, I have one that's 3 years older, one that's 5 years younger. Mm-hmm. And you talk about our childhood. Okay, you went through hard things then. You put your big girl panties on and you move on.
Yeah.
Talk to my sisters, they had childhood trauma. And I'm like, what? We grew up in the same house with the same parents. What happened to you that makes you think we had trauma?
Yeah.
I don't feel that we had trauma. Did we go through some hard things? Of course we did.
Yeah.
Life is full of doing hard things. It's just how you deal with it. And I don't know. Maybe I'm from another time period or something, not Renaissance. Thank you very much, Tim.
Mm-hmm. Much younger. Much younger.
Much younger. I don't know. I've always been able to do things that most people can't do with a different mindset. Some people can do, hard things.
Yeah.
It's the toll that you allow it to take. So, yeah, we've all.
But that's interesting because, like you said, your siblings grew up in the same house and yet had a completely different story that they were telling themselves versus what you were telling yourself.
Yeah.
And so you've now had to face cancer and brain surgery, and it was just like, okay, this is what we got to do.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, you're given a choice every day whether you're going to have a good day or whether you're going to have a bad day. You start your day off the right way. And do I wake up and say, okay, I'm going to have a good day? No, that is not what happens.
Yeah.
Typically, because I have 2 dogs at the end of the bed, he gets up first. 2 cats are laying on top of me. Do you think I have time to think about anything about me? No, because I have all my animals that I love.
And the horses.
And my horses and my goats. Yeah,
Life on a farm's got to be
I
hard.
love it.
I'm not a farm guy.
I love it.
Yeah.
They're all my pets.
Wow.
Yes.
Do you share the same mentality? I mean, you were 28 years in the Army. You've certainly seen your bit of challenges. Do you share that same kind of mindset as she does?
I don't love the animals the way she does. So there's that mindset that I don't share.
Joe, you and I are very, very similar, and Ginger is very similar to my wife.
I mean,
we have 3 dogs.
I'll answer the question, but I've got to tell you the story of how we even got this farm. So, I told you, she moved in, we ended up getting married, we're living in Bully Rock, and I had what I considered to be a wonderful 4-bedroom villa, and pub in the basement, it was totally finished, and about a year after she moves in, she goes, yeah, we got to move.
I don't like people.
I don't like people.
Right.
Of course, so we're in a villa, so we were part of a 4-plex. And absolutely right. So the other thing is, although she doesn't like people, we do like to entertain. I ride a Harley, and I ride with other people.
Yeah.
And she goes, it's a gated community. We can't have any of your buddies over here because you can't get them through the gate, and there's no place for them to park. Oh, that's a good point.
That's a good point.
Okay, all right. God. So we need a single-family home somewhere where we can have parties, and I can have my Harley riding buddies over, and no issues. She goes, yes, but I want to get a horse. Oh, so you want to get a horse and find a place to board the horse?
Yeah.
No, I want a farm. What? You want a what? Of course, she also described it as a farmette.
Oh, well, that seems like it's smaller.
Well, it meant nothing to me. What the heck is a farmette? And so we need between 5 and 10 acres. I want the farmhouse. I want the porch on the front, covered porch, and a barn, and a place for my horse. Okay. And I told her, I looked at her, I said, that means, so I grew up in New Hampshire. It's a very rural area, dairy farms everywhere. So that's my pictured in my mind.
Right.
I said, it means 2 things to me. I said, it means a lot of work.
Yeah.
And a lot of money. I said, so what part are you taking care of? She goes, the work. I said, okay. So then my part is taking care of the bills. All right. So we started looking. And so we found a farm in Forest Hill. It's 7.5 acres. The criteria was between 5 and 10.
Okay.
But it took us 9 months to find this too, also.
Yeah.
And it's the white farmhouse with the porch in the front, the barn out in the back. It was all fenced in. It was ready. It was a horse farm, previous owners. And so we found that. And then I kid you not, the day we moved in, she goes, "Where's my tractor?" Like, what tractor? We just spent a lot of money buying this house. She goes, "How do you expect that's going to get mowed?" And I'm like,
"Jeez,
with the Craftsman lawn tractor?" Like, not 7.5 acres. But yeah, the animals are hers. I mean, she keeps up with the animals. She does all the mowing. She doesn't want me on the tractor.
No, mowing is like my favorite thing in the world to do.
Oh, man.
I love to mow.
Can you come talk to my wife? Actually, no. We actually hired a lawn service, so I can't throw her under the bus like that. Yeah.
So that's the part that we differ 100%.
Yeah.
But again, even in our life, we complement each other. So she's taking care of the farm. I'm making sure we have money to take care of the farm.
Right.
My military background, what it brings is discipline. And regardless, if I don't feel like doing it, I got to do it.
You're still going to do it.
I just got to do it.
Yeah.
And it's the self-motivation. I mean, that's what the Army instilled in me is having self-motivation and finding something deep down that just makes you keep moving.
Right.
Keep moving forward, especially.
Yeah. Which is where that kind of complements both of you. You're on the same page with that.
Absolutely. She has different reasons for it.
Yeah.
But yes.
Yeah.
Continuing to move forward. Yeah.
What motivates and drives you both in making sure that Window Genie is a success?
For me, and I think my answer is going to differ from hers, but for me, it is, our business plan. Again, I am driven. I am very methodical, very deliberate in everything I do. And so the business plan was, by year 5, we're going to have 5 trucks. That means 10 technicians. We want an operations manager, and we want a customer service rep. And at that point, we're going to be able to step back a little bit as business owners and supervise 2 people. That would be our operations manager, who is really helping us run the business, and which we are now looking for.
Okay.
And the customer service rep. And then those 2 people would be managing the technicians. That's year 5. And so this is a 10-year franchise agreement. So before the end of year 10, we're selling the business. That we have grown it to a point that it is a valuable commodity for some other owner who wants to continue growing it. That's what motivates me, is that success.
Yeah.
And
I think that's all, because a lot of people say that when you get into the business, one of the things you should be considering and thinking about is how are you going to exit the business?
100%.
Yeah.
If you're not going in with an entrance and exit strategy as a business owner, and again, that's probably something that the Army instilled in me too with my program management experience, is what is that criteria? How are you going to walk in? When do you know when it's time to exit? What's the criteria? The things that you must meet to exit. So getting to that point is what's motivating me, is continuous growth in this business so that it becomes valuable.
Yeah. Ginger, what drives you? What motivates you? Where do you see all this going? What are any visions or goals that you see for yourself or the business as you move forward?
I like helping people, regardless of the capacity you're talking about. So even when we're doing holiday lighting for somebody, and I put together, a package for them, and I have pictures to show them of what it can look like, and whether it's cleaning windows, whether it's holiday lighting, it doesn't matter. I just want people to be happy.
Yeah.
So.
Well, she doesn't like people.
Yes. I do like people. I like people the way I like people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you like to work with nice people, good people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
How about for, with the trials and tribulations that you've been through, is there anything that you are taking from, getting diagnosed with cancer, having brain surgery, being cancer-free, I'm assuming, right? Is there anything that you're taking? Because a lot of times bad things happen in our lives, but again, it's a story that we tell ourselves. And how can you make the worst thing that has happened to be the best thing that has ever happened? Is there anything that you're trying to accomplish within the next 5 to 10 years that's either inside or outside of the Window Genie business?
So the Window Genie business was more for Joe. It was his idea, which is fine. I mean, I'm part of him. So to get that business plan accomplished, to grow the business so that we can sell the business. After that, I would like to go in my own route and do some motivational speaking, again, just to help people, just to let people know that no matter what you're going through, there's somebody else who's been through something similar, maybe something worse, that has a little bit of a different outlook that can help you. So that's the goal for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a compelling story.
Yeah.
And two great people that you can just tell are just good, genuine people. There's life after divorce, and you guys have both gone through that. And I've seen you several times, have spoken to you a little bit at these things, but man, this has been such an eye-opening interview for me, and I do get to meet a lot of cool people and hear their stories and everything. But what great things that you guys are doing, and what you're going to be accomplishing in the next years is just phenomenal. And if there's anything that I can do to be a part of that, by all means,
Thank you.
I hope this continues as a good friendship, because you guys seem to be just really, really good people. Going into, moving forward, we've actually had some people that have listened to the podcast. One in particular was Dave Padilla with Two Mates, who has said that he's actually gotten calls, leads, recommendations from the podcast. So if people want to connect with you for everything that you do, how can people reach out? How can people connect through social media, phone numbers, websites, and all that good stuff?
Yeah, so several different ways. You can find us on Facebook. That's Window Genie of Bel Air, Aberdeen, and Parkville. And the personal or persona there is JG Dupont. You can find us that way on Facebook. Our phone number for the office to schedule work is 443-966-3306. Obviously, we have an email address. That's belair.owner@windowgenie.com.
And our website.
And our website, thank you, which is windowgenie.com/Belair. That'll take you directly to our website.
Gotcha.
But even just windowgenie.com, you enter your zip code and it's going to take you.
Now I'm going to put you on the spot. Is there any kind of discount that if somebody's listening to this, that they could get on your services?
Yep. So we have several pricing.
Yes.
Special pricing.
Yeah.
For veterans.
Okay.
And for seniors. We have a customer loyalty program where if you're a returning customer, you get better pricing.
Okay.
And if you're listening to this podcast,
okay,
and when you call, you typically wind up talking to me, just let me know that this is where you heard about us.
Yeah.
And we will give you a 10% discount.
TMA discount. Code TMA. Promo code TMA.
Right. That's right.
That's awesome. Wow. So thank you guys so much for coming in. Really appreciate it. Please connect with these guys on whether it's social media or go to their website. I'll help them out as well. You can connect with us on Facebook and Instagram at the Markland Advantage. We're on YouTube if you're listening to this on any podcast platform, and you can watch and see how good looking these people are. and if you're watching this and seeing how good looking they are, you could also listen to them. You both have great voices and I know that one of your several jobs has been in broadcasting too. So I mean, what hasn't she done?
I don't know. I haven't found anything.
Phenomenal meetup here today. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us today. Until next time, folks, live your life to the fullest and do hard things.
Thank you.
And see you soon. Take care. Did you like this episode of the TMA Connection? Well, you might want to check this one out right here. Go ahead, click it.